Today, we are awaiting two major appeals from Donald Trump's lawyers that could have major consequences for the 2024 election. Trump is fighting a pair of historic decisions that disqualify him from primary ballots in Colorado and Maine. They hinge on the 14th Amendment's so-called insurrectionist ban. It's a constitutional gray area that's being tested in unprecedented fashion right now, and that's why it seems these cases are destined for the Supreme Court.
Maine Superior Court says the state's Secretary of State should wait to see how the U.S. Supreme Court rules in a particular matter before she takes any further steps in removing former President Donald Trump from the state's primary election ballot. You may recall back in December, Secretary of State Ballot said the former president is disqualified from being on their primary election ballot because she believes he engaged in an insurrection. The former president, along with his legal team, appealed that decision. They're saying that Ballot overstepped her authority, and this is a matter that should be left up to Congress and not the courts.
Mr. Trump's lawyers originally appealed the move in state court, then asked the judge to pause those proceedings until the U.S. Supreme Court weighs in. The Superior Court denied Mr. Trump's request, but sent the case back to the Secretary of State with instructions to wait the outcome of the U.S. Supreme Court case before issuing a new rule.
My understanding is that there's a statutory deadline today for the Maine court to make a ruling. So I guess we'll have to see if they come out with one. But there are just very particular state laws there. I remember even back when Secretary of State Ballot made her decision, I interviewed her that day, and she even said, that she had to make a ruling within, I believe it was 5 days at the time. She couldn't wait for the Supreme Court to make a decision, which kind of gave me the impression that maybe she would have liked to be able to give this time for the Supreme Court to weigh in on Colorado first, but there seem to be these very specific laws in Maine. So I guess we'll see what happens today with that. And basically, I think we can anticipate whatever ruling they make, one of the sides is going to appeal, and this will likely elevate to the Maine Supreme Court.
Right.
And in the meantime, the U.S. Supreme Court will be weighing Colorado. They have arguments on February 8th for that.